Good morning, students. Today we are doing lesson Packing written by Jerome K. Jerome. Dear students, packing is a story about three friends who are getting ready to go for a journey. It follows the packing session of three friends Jerome, Harris, and George. It begins with them starting the most important thing of a journey, that is packing. This story is an extract taken from Three Men in a Boat by Jerome K. Jerome. Here, Jerome is the narrator himself and writes about the experience he has while his friends decide to start packing. Further, it takes us on a hilarious ride about three adults who struggle to do a basic thing as packing. Let's start the chapter and see what happens in the story. I said I would pack. Here, the writer Jerome liked to pack. Here, the writer Jerome liked to pack luggage for trips and announced that he would do the packing. I rather pride myself on my packing. Packing is one of those many things that I feel I know more about than any other person living. It surprises me myself sometimes how many such things there are. I impressed the fact upon George and Harris and told them that they had better leave the whole matter entirely to me. They fell into the suggestion with a readiness that had something uncanny about it. Joe spread himself over the easy chair and Harris cocked his legs on the table. Pride myself on means proud of, fell into, accepted, uncanny, strange, weird. Cooked his legs means bent the legs on the knee as he sat. Here, Jerome thought that his ability to pack luggage was better than others. He asked his friends, George and Harris, to leave the task of packing to him. जेरोम सोचता है कि मेरी पैकिंग क्वालिटी है वो दूसरे लोगों से बहुत अच्छी है, इसलिए वो जॉर्ज और हैरिस से बोलता है कि पैकिंग का काम उस पर छोड़ दो. The two friends agreed to his offer instantly, which was strange. दोनों फ्रेंड तुरंत इस बात पे एग्री हो गए और जो कि जेरोम को बहुत अजीब लगा. George sat comfortably on the easy chair and Harris bent his knees as he sat on the sofa and kept his feet on the table. This was hardly what I intended. Intended means planned, meant. What I had meant, of course, was that I should boss the job and the Harris and George should potter about. Potter about means do some unimportant things under my directions. I pushing them aside every now and then with, oh you, here, let me do it. There you are simple enough. Really teaching them, as you might say, they are taking it in the way they did irritated me. There is nothing does irritate me more than seeing other people sitting about doing nothing when I am working. राइटर चाहते थे कि वो एक बॉस की तरह से काम करे, वो बॉस बने और जो उसके दूसरे दो फ्रेंड्स और हैं उनसे वो काम करवाएं, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं हुआ. By saying that he would pack, the writer did not mean that his friends would sit and relax while he would do all the work. He had meant that he would boss upon them while they would do all the chores. कि वो boss बनेगा और उसके दोनों friends दूसरे काम करेंगे. He would nag them and curse them for not knowing the work well, and then he would chip in to sort out the mess that they would create. He was irritated to see them sitting while he did all the work. क्योंकि जेरोम तो सारा काम कर रहे हैं पैकिंग का और उसके दोनों फ्रेंड्स जो हैं वो ऐसे ही बैठे हैं और इसीलिए वो क्या हो रहा है, इरिटेट हो रहा है. और वो चाहते क्या थे कि मैं छोटे छोटे काम पे इनकी गलतियाँ निकालूंगा, इन्हें डांटूंगा कि तुमने सारा काम खराब कर दिया, लेकिन ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ. I lived with a man once who used to make me mad. That way, he would loll on the sofa and watch me doing things by the hour together. He said it did him real good to look on at me messing about. Now I am not like that. I can't sit still and see another man slaving and working. I want to get up and superintend and walk round with my hands in my pockets and tell him what to do. It is my energetic nature. I can't help it. Loll on the sofa means to recline or lean in a relaxed manner. Messing about, to waste time doing something without a particular purpose. Sit still means sit without doing anything. Superintend, supervise, manage. यहाँ पे पोएट एक पास इंसिडेंट को रिकलेक्ट कर रहे हैं. ही रिकलेक्ट्स दैट वंस ही लिव्ड विद अ मैन who would sit lazily on the sofa all day through and would watch the writer do all the work. वो हमेशा सोफ़ा पर बैठा रहता था और राइटर जब काम करते थे तो उन्हें देखा करता था. The man would say that he enjoyed watching him go around doing all the work. और मैन क्या कहता था कि जब वो काम करता है तो उसे काम करते हुए देखना मुझे अच्छा लगता है. दिस वुड मेक द राइटर मैड विद एंगर. और इससे राइटर बहुत गुस्सा हो जाते. द राइटर एड्स दैट ही कुड नॉट सिट आइडल एंड वॉच अदर वर्क लाइक स्लेव्स. On the other hand, he liked to check their work, walk around with his hands in his pockets, and direct them on how to do the work properly. He feels that as he was energetic, it was a part of his nature to behave in that manner. राइटर क्या कह रहे हैं कि मुझे बिल्कुल भी अच्छा नहीं लगता कि मैं दूसरे लोगों को स्लेव की तरह काम करते देखूं. वो कहते हैं कि मुझे तो अपने पॉकेट में हैंड डाल करके और चारों ओर घूम घूम कर देख कर, राइटर कहते हैं कि मुझे तो अपने पॉकेट में हाथ डालकर दूसरे लोगों को काम करते हुए देखना, उन्हें सुपरवाइज करना अच्छा लगता है. और वो ये कहते हैं कि ऐसा इसलिए कि क्योंकि वो एनर्जेटिक है और इस तरीके से बिहेव करना उनका क्या है, मैनर है. मीन्स वो एक बॉस की तरह से काम करना चाहते हैं और दूसरे लोगों से काम करवाना चाहते हैं बॉस बनकर. However, I did not say anything but started the packing. It seemed a longer job than I had thought it was going to be, but I got the bag finished at last, and I sat on it and strapped it. Strapped it means closed it. The writer did not say anything to his friends and started packing. As he closed it, The writer did not say anything to his friends and started packing. और जैसा उन्होंने सोचा था ये उससे भी ज़्यादा लंबा जोक था। और जैसे ही उन्होंने पैकिंग फिनिश की और बैग को क्लोज किया, "Aren't you going to put the boots in?" said Harris. हैरिस ने क्या बोला? That he had forgotten to pack the boots. And I looked round and found I had forgotten them. और राइटर ने देखा कि वो सच में ही अपने बूट्स पैक करना भूल गया है. That's just like Harris. He couldn't have said a word until I would got the bag shut and strapped, of course. And George laughed, one of those irritating, senseless laugh of his. The writer felt that Harris could have reminded him before he had closed the bag, but he thought that Harris was like that. This was followed by an irritating laughter by George. "They do make me so wild," and which made Jerome wild with anger. जैसे उन्होंने अपनी पैकिंग फिनिश की, बैग को बंद किया, वैसे ही हैरिस बोलता है कि वो बूट पैक करना भूल गया है. और वो सोचते हैं कि हैरिस उसे पहले भी तो याद दिला सकता था ये चीज़, पर वो सोचता है कि हैरिस ऐसा ही है. और फिर जैसे ही जॉर्ज ने हंसना शुरू किया तो जेरोम को क्या आ गया? बहुत ज़्यादा गुस्सा. I opened the bag and packed the boots in, and then, just as I was going to close it, a horrible idea occurred to me. Had I packed my toothbrush? I don't know how it is, but I never do know whether I have packed my toothbrush. Jerome opened the bag to keep the boots in it. As he was about to close it, he was struck by a strange thought that had he kept the toothbrush or not. He says that he never remembers if he has packed the toothbrush or not. जैसे उन्होंने बूट अंदर रखे तो उन्हें माइंड में आया कि क्या उसने अपना टूथब्रश पैक कर लिया है या नहीं, और उसे ये याद भी नहीं था. My toothbrush is a thing that haunts me when I am traveling and makes my life a misery. It means sad. Haunts means to repeatedly give trouble. Jerome adds that while traveling, he always messes up with carrying his toothbrush. He has, "I dream that I haven't packed it and wake up in a cold perspiration and get out of bed and hunt for it." He has nightmares of not having packed it, wakes up in sweat and looks for it. राइटर क्या कह रहे हैं कि मेरा टूथब्रश एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो मुझे हॉन्ट्स करती है, परेशानी देती है. कब? वाइल आई एम ट्रैवलिंग, जब वो ट्रैवल करते हैं. एंड मेक्स माई लाइफ है माइजरी, और उसकी लाइफ को सैड, माइजरी सैड, उदास कर देती है. और वो कहते हैं कि मुझे एक ऐसा ड्रीम आया जैसे कि मैंने अपने टूथब्रश को पैक नहीं किया है. और वो ठंड में ही उठते हैं और अपने टूथब्रश को फाइंड करने की कोशिश करते हैं. एंड इन द मॉर्निंग आई पैक इट बिफोर आई हैव यूज्ड इट एंड हैव टू अनपैक अगेन टू गेट इट. एंड इट इज़ ऑलवेज द लास्ट थिंग आई टर्न आउट ऑफ द बैग. And then I repack and forget it and have to rush upstairs for it at the last moment and carry it to the railway station wrapped up in my pocket's handkerchief. In the morning, he packs it before using it, then unpacks the bag to get the brush and uses it. as it is the last thing that comes out of the bag and he has repacked the bag. He forgets packing it again. At the last moment, he rushes to his room to get the brush and finally he wraps it in his handkerchief and carries it to the railway station in his hands. Of course, I had to turn every mortal thing out now, and of course, I could not find it. I rummaged the things up into much the same state that they must have been before the world was created and when chaos reigned. Of course, I found George and Harris 18 times over, but I couldn't find my own. I put the things back one by one and held everything up and shook it. Then I found it inside a boot. I repacked once more as Jerome was looking for his toothbrush in his bag. He had to remove everything, but he could not find it. He created a mess. He found his friend's brushes many times, but could not find his brush. He kept everything back into the bag one by one, shaking each item and finally found the brush inside a boot. Then once again he repacked the bag. Dear students, the next part of this lesson we will do in the next video. आज हमने पढ़ा कि जेरोम, हैरिस एंड जोस तीनों फ्रेंड्स एक जर्नी पे जा रही हैं और जेरोम कहता है कि पैकिंग वो करेगा और हैरिस और जोश दोनों आराम से साइड में बैठ जाते हैं और जेरोम क्या करते हैं पैकिंग और जेरोम बार बार कोई ना कोई चीज़ भूल रहे हैं. लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपन्स इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो. बाय बाय.